Hello. During the July vacation, my two students Carlos André and Thiérry and I went on a geological visit to the top of Pedra da Onça, located in the Municipality of Itarana, state of Espírito Santo, where it was discovered in 1941, the largest deposit of beryl marine water in the world. First of all, I ask you to subscribe to the channel and leave a like, also share the video with your friends through social networks, and the most important, watch the video until the end. We will show you in detail and retell a little of this story. More than 2 tons of marine water, beryl, were discovered in this deposit. Some of these gems ended up in Queen Elizabeth II's jewelry, there in England. As stated in some official documents, among the various jewels that are part of the collection of Queen Elizabeth II, a set consisting of a tiara, a bracelet, a brooch, a necklace, a pair of earrings and a ring are made of aquamarines, where part of them were extracted from the top of Pedra da Onça, in Itarana, in the central mountain region of Espírito Santo. With this video, we want to give people the opportunity to get to know the region better, and the history of this place. It is now 7 o'clock in the morning, and we are already approaching the stone, on the dirt road that enters the district of Praca 8, Itarana. The sun rose right in the middle, between Pedra da Onça and Pedra Alegre, looking to the right, at the top of the rock, where the deposit of beryl, sea water, was located. Those who come to Várzea Alegre, it is surprising and notorious, the large amount of quartz rolls and pegmatites, in the midst of coffee plantations, which could no longer go unnoticed. Due to the heat amidst the stone limpets, it is recommended to go up first thing in the morning, and preferably in winter. The path is very quiet and accessible. Shoes with good rubber soles are recommended to avoid slipping during the journey. When we leave the vegetation, we can see markings on the stone cave indicating the way to the old mine, remembering that the ascent is on the north side of the rock, and the distance covered from the bottom of the hill to the top is approximately 1.5 kilometers. And now let's go back in time, to the year 1941, the year the deposit was discovered. The protagonist of this story was Mr. Angelo Pierotti, at the time approximately 12 years old. Even though he didn't know exactly what it was, young Angelo decided to put the bluish stone in his leather bag, in order to take it and show it to his father Luis Pierotti.
Luis was also intrigued by that material, and decided to show the stone to his friend João Azevedo, owner of a small pharmacy in the city.
Initially the two decide to scrape a path to the top of the boulder among many thorns, and decide to do a little rudimentary digging. With a few picks, they located several beryls on the surface of the earth. They only collect extra material. Inferior materials such as slag, defective stones and quartz crystals were rolled down the hill. It is worth mentioning that there are versions that the discovery of the deposit would have been made by Raimundo Ferreira, a hiker who liked to climb the cliffs of the region to hunt. Although this may be true, he was not aware of the preciousness of the ore contained there, leaving him anonymous. Initially, the society was formed and organized by João Azevedo, his brothers Gustavo, Hermelindo, Cantillo, between Livino Gasparini and Luis Pierotti, a social group that later disbanded with the entry of new relatives, friends and relatives. In a few days the conversation spread, forming a crowd to explore the deposit. Merchants, farmers, people with no notion of mining, or the real value of gems, the mining of this deposit continued for more than a decade, according to reports that more than 3,000 people, from various parts of Brazil, passed through the site. As the process of this mining took place very quickly, there was no record of the subsoil. Most of these gems ended up in the cities of Governador Valadares and Teofilo Otoni, and they were later declared and documented as if they had been extracted in the gemological province of the state of Minas Gerais, therefore did not generate any taxation for the state of Espírito Santo. According to an exchange of information I had by email, with Mr. Idemar Toffner, the last intervention at the mine was conducted by Mr. Hermelindo, who resided in the state of Minas Gerais, being the foster brother of João Azevedo, who opened a tunnel in the steep cliff, southern part through rocky pegmatite, by means of explosives. It was also at the same time that all the land dumped along with the gravel was removed and sieved, all of this to recover gems that were discarded at the time when the mining was commanded by João Azevedo. For this reason, it is almost impossible for you to find any slag or beryl chips, sea water, in this location. It is very interesting to observe that the small strip of red earth at the top of the stone, where the gems were produced, is no more than 200 square meters. And it was precisely there that the largest deposit of beryl, sea water, in the world flourished. On the south side, the rock soon declines at an angle of 90 degrees, and on the north side where the earth was discarded, the rock declines at an angle of 60 degrees. I, accompanied by my two students Carlos André and Thiérry, carried out a sweep where the gravel waste was thrown at the time of mining. Unfortunately, it was not possible to find beryls, but we found very beautiful and transparent fragments of quartz. The municipality may not have capitalized on this discovery, but it was a milestone that started the prospecting, which led to the discovery of several other deposits in the region and neighboring cities. When removing the earth with a pickaxe, we found beautiful pieces of crystallized quartz. Usually people who go there end up without tools, so they only pick up what they find above the ground, but with the help of a tool the possibility of finding something good is great. This video is a dedication to all the people who had family members who worked there during the mining period, and with that we also want to rescue the history of our municipality. I hope you enjoyed the video. Who is not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe and activate the bell to receive notifications of new videos.